Hello everyone, you are not going to see much of this face because I'm going to be including a lot of clips of the animal that I'm talking about in this video, which I'm very excited to announce is, at long last, a red-eyed crocodile skink. Now for those who don't know, I have been looking for, searching for, longing for a red-eyed crocodile skink for like 2 years, and I didn't really pressure myself into getting one or really look hard until the end or middle to end of 2018 because they're more intermediate species to keep, and so I wanted to make sure I had all of my research down. I wanted to make sure it was perfect timing, yada yada. Without further ado, I'm going to explain how I got Fugaku, and I'll also explain why his name is Fugaku, and away we go. Well, actually first, please subscribe, hit the notification bell, and away we go. So it was a couple months ago that I got a message from a person named Patrick, who's actually the person who gave me my African dwarf frogs, so hi Patrick. He's really awesome, and he knew I was looking for a red-eyed crocodile skink, and he sent me the screenshot of someone rehoming theirs on a Facebook reptile classifieds page. And so I joined that group real quick and I messaged that person, and it was like a perfect fit from the beginning. Not only was the fire skink for rehoming, which is what I prefer compared to buying from a pet store or a breeder or anything like that. So the skink was for rehoming. The skink was already a year old. The skink was male, and the price was right, and the enclosure was perfect, and the owner was super cool and really cared about him, and I honestly could not have asked for a better situation. So of course I jumped on the opportunity because other opportunities that I had previously that year had fallen through hard and they were upsetting, but I was willing to wait for the perfect situation anyway, and it came along. We spoke for a couple weeks, we made plans to go out to Chicago, we picked up Fugaku and brought him home. After that, he spent the first month with us in quarantine in the spare bedroom, or spare room downstairs, which was really hard because every single day that I would go to feed all the pets, I'd have to run back downstairs, get his bowl, run upstairs, put food in it, run back downstairs. And then of course before doing that all over again, the next day I have to wash everything and sanitize it because quarantine. The great news from the start though is that he ate automatically. As soon as I brought him home, he ate the very first time I offered him food, and he has been eating regularly since. I have found that he is not a picky skink at all, which I kind of was anticipating because I know that they're an intermediate species, like I said, that they can be a little challenging when it comes to different aspects of their husbandry. But he was not picky at all. He ate dubia roaches, superworms, mealworms right away. He hasn't had a hornworm yet, but we're working on that still. Another really exciting thing that happened in the first month that he was in quarantine is that I discovered he poops every single day around the same time in the exact same spot of his enclosure on the schedule. So spot cleaning has been a breeze because he's not messy, he just makes a mess in one spot. He spent 3 weeks exactly, I think 21 days in quarantine before I decided to bring him upstairs and let him join my bedroom. The reason I didn't put him in the pet room is because the pet room lights up really easy. Right now this is our daylight with the blinds shut. So because they're a very shy species that like the dark, that like cold, more cold than warm, I decided to put him in the bedroom, which is where I keep my salamander and my axolotls because it's a little bit cooler and darker in there as well. So I figured if I was gonna have the chance of ever seeing him or even just giving him a comfortable life, that the bedroom would be a better option. So he's currently in my bedroom. When I brought him upstairs out of quarantine, I decided to redecorate his enclosure a little bit, even though everything was really awesome. The substrate was perfectly moist, he came with a fogger, the enclosure's a decent size, it has a built-in water area, everything is perfect. I just wish that it was a little bit more hidden or had more dark spots for him, so that's what I did. Aside from cleaning everything, I gave him more hides. Now he's been upstairs for, I don't know how long, maybe 2 weeks, and some really awesome things have happened along the way of having him. So when he was in quarantine, Aaron actually walked into the room and saw him out and about for the first time. So I didn't actually see him out and about, Aaron did. And so he was like, Jessica, come look, and he was out and he was on his way to do a poop. And that's actually the only time I've really seen him, except when he was shedding the other day. So recently I'll see him scramble out to poop and then scramble back, or one time I saw him with a superworm half hanging out of his mouth because he was eating and I caught him, and he plays dead a little bit where he turns his head to the side and pretends that I'm not there, he can't see me at all. so it's really funny. But like a lot of times if I haven't been home and the room is dark, I come upstairs. I won't turn on the light because I know he's probably out, so I'll just walk over in the dark and kind of just give him a look at. Oh, hello Fugaku, good to see you for the first time this week. He's really great. Like, I don't mind at all that he's really shy, that he doesn't want to be seen, because that's who he is, that's how his species is, and I would never force him to be something that he's not. Recently, I have like grown accustomed to the sound of hearing him in his enclosure. He scratches around in there a lot. He's actually pretty active, just not when I'm around, and like when he thinks I'm not in the room, even though I'm just like quietly laying in bed. So like I'll hear him scratch around against the glass of the Exoterra, or like against the rocks in his water area, because there's like little pebbles, and I'll give a full enclosure tour separately from this video, so stay tuned for that. But like I'll hear him shift the rocks around trying to like engage with the water, or you know, just like soak up some humidity, or get his shed off, which is what he was doing the other day. So like I approached his enclosure when I heard all this noise, because I was like, what is he doing? Is he okay? And he was shedding, and he had a big piece of shed flaked off of his face, and it was so cute. And the moment he saw me, he froze. I was like, sorry, just want to make sure you're okay. I'm gonna take off now. Sorry to bother you. And as soon as I laid back down in bed, not 2 minutes later, I hear him rustling around in there, shifting the rocks, scratching against the glass. And it's really funny to look at the enclosure every day, because he'll have like a little poop in the corner, and then everything else will be untouched except for his cave, which all the dirt has been flung out of. He just kind of like burrows himself into the dirt to soak up all that moisture and to hide. And so like I know exactly where he's gonna be every time I see him, but it's funny because every time I do, the dirt is shifted a different way, and I'm wondering eventually he's gonna reach the bottom of the enclosure. So I realized that I kind of glazed over this. I'm kind of in a rush because I'm actually trying to leave, but I promise I'll do something a bit more in-depth later on. I actually filmed this once and it was 25 minutes long, and I was like, no one is gonna watch that. No one's gonna watch a 25-minute long video of me talking about my skink all the way through. No one's gonna do it. So I figured I'll show the clips of him over my voice, and you guys will get to meet him, and then maybe later on down the road when I do his reptile profile, I can go a bit more in depth. I don't know. If you guys have any questions, I can definitely answer them down below. But one more thing I wanted to address is why I named him Fugaku. So naming him was actually really a struggle. I originally, like months ago, when I was like, I want to get a red-eyed crocodile skink, was going to name him or her Balerion, or I think I wanted to name a girl Morticia. I wasn't sure what I was gonna set on, because Balerion is from Game of Thrones, but my geckos are named after characters from Game of Thrones, not my skinks. When I started thinking about the fact that our blue-tongued skink is Haku and our fire skink is Roku, I was like, oh no, Morticia, Balerion, both of those names do not go with that theme of having an anime character name ending in KU as a skink name. So then I was like, alright, let me think about my favorite animes and let me look up some characters. And eventually I started thinking about the fact that he looks like an Uchiha from Naruto, because he's all black and he has the red around his eyes, and Uchihas have black hair, very serious faces, and they have the Sharingan red eyes. So I was like, okay, let me look up any Uchihas that end in KU. I found a lot of cool names from Naruto for potentially other animals, so if I ever come across those, I already have a name picked out. But for Fugaku, I was struggling, and so eventually when I looked through all of the Uchiha names, I came across Fugaku Uchiha, who is actually Sasuke and Itachi's father. And when I like learned more about him, then like the anime presented, for example, like a lot of the information that I looked up on the Naru Wikipedia was all about him that I don't think was presented well in the narrative in Naruto, so it was really cool to learn about him. But as soon as I saw him and as soon as I saw the name, I was like, oh my god, I can call him Fu, how cute is that? I was like, yep, Fugaku, that is the name. So I know that it might be a non-traditional name to some of you, or you might find it hard to pronounce, but I feel like that's nothing new here, because all of my animals have really difficult names, like Game of Thrones names, for example, or anime names. So sorry, I'm a little bit of a nerd, and so that's gonna happen from time to time. You'll see things that kind of just exude my nerdiness. So anyways, that is a bit about Fugaku, and he's been here for, Well, he's been here since December 9th, so he's been here for over a month now, which is really exciting. And I'm so glad that I got to share him with you. But there's one more thing I want to add, which is that you did not see me handling Fugaku in this video. That does not mean that I don't want to. It just means that they're a species that is very sensitive to handling, doesn't like handling, and so I'm not going to put him in unnecessary stressful situations just to film him for camera. So I'm sorry if you didn't see him in really great lighting or you didn't see me holding him. And it is not because I don't love him or don't want to, it's because I respect his wishes not to be held. Similarly to my fire skink Roku, who does not want to be held, so I'm not gonna bother him that way either. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, let me know down below. Let me know how cute you think Fugaku is, because oh my god, I don't know if it's because I'm his mom, but he's just precious beyond words. Also, please subscribe, hit the notification bell, check the links below for social media and merchandise and a Patreon and all kinds of stuff. People on Patreon knew about Fugaku way before people on the internet did, way before you guys, way before people on Instagram. So if you're ever interested in knowing behind the scenes information, new pets, new names of pets, whatever, then Patreon is the way to go. Again, thank you for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!